Good morning, good morning. I bless you. I honor you. I love you. I bless you. I honor you. I love you. I bless you. I honor you. I love you. I bless me. I honor me. I love me. I bless me. I honor me. I love me. I bless me. I honor me. I love me. I am my I am presence, and I am one with my Father, Mother, God. I am also one with the I am presence of every man, woman, and child on earth, the entire company of heaven, the angelic kingdom, the elemental kingdom, and Gaia, Mother Earth. I give heartfelt and sincere thanks for the sacred gift of my life, and of life itself. I ask my I am presence to consecrate every thought, word, feeling, and action which I express throughout this day with more love and more light for myself and my world. Word, I am word. I know who I am in peace, what I am in peace, how I serve in peace. I am here, I am here, I am here. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is sorrow, joy. Where there is darkness, light. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are forgiven, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. I am prosperity. I let go of the misconception that anyone or anything can withhold from me all that this abundant universe has for me now. I am an open door, and all kinds of riches flow to me now. I am an irresistible magnet with the power to draw to myself the supply of all good things, according to the thoughts, feelings, and mental pictures I continually hold in my consciousness. I realize that I am responsible for my life situation and that I have the power to create whatever I wish in my life. As of this moment, I choose to create for myself a life of health, success, happiness, and prosperity. I know that this universe is filled with God's abundance, and I accept these riches into my life now. I choose infinite abundance for myself and for all humanity. I know all of my needs will be perfectly met at all times. Rapid changes come in all aspects of my life as I now open my mind to the unlimited resources of this universe. All of my financial affairs are now in perfect order. I love doing my work, and I am richly rewarded, both creatively and financially. I give my love, my gifts, my all, and I am therefore rich, well, and happy now. And so it is. O cosmic birther of all radiance and vibration, soften the ground of our being and carve out a space within us where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so that we may be empowered to bear the fruit of your mission. Let each of our actions bear fruit in accordance with our desire. Endow us with the wisdom to produce and share what each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled threads of destiny that bind us as we release others from the entanglement of past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by that which would divert us from our true purpose, but illuminate the opportunities of the present moment. For you are the ground and the fruitful vision, the birth power and fulfillment, as all is gathered and made whole once again. Deep breath. And last but not least, I am the open door for the violet flame. I am my I am presence, and I am one with the I am presence of all humanity. As one voice, one breath, one heartbeat, and one energy, vibration, and consciousness of pure divine love, we invoke the most intensified frequencies of the fifth dimensional crystalline solar violet flame of God's infinite perfection that cosmic law will allow. Beloved Saint Germain and your legions of fifth dimensional violet flame archangels, we ask that you blaze, blaze, blaze this violet flame with the power and might of 1,000 suns in, through, and around every thought, feeling, word, action, memory, and belief that humanity has ever expressed in any time frame or dimension, both known and unknown, that is reflecting anything less than heaven on earth. Transmute this energy, cause, core, effect, record, and memory back into its original perfection and seal it in an invincible force field of God's comprehensive divine love. We accept that this activity of light is being God victoriously accomplished, even as we call. We also accept and know that this violet flame is increasing daily and hourly, moment by moment, with every single breath we take, until this sweet earth and all her life have ascended into the fifth dimensional crystalline solar realms of light on this new earth. And so it is, beloved I am, beloved I am, beloved I am. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome, welcome. Peace, peace, peace. Great to be here with you. Yeah, we're coming down the home stretch, my friends. Christmas Eve, we call it. Yeah, December 23rd. And it's one more shopping day for me anyway. I need to get my groceries in before everything shuts down, so that's on my list. And the market is open at the farmer's market for Christmas, but the weather is looking pretty thick out there at the moment. It's as dark as December and as cold as the man in the moon. But we will carry on and we will count our blessings. Here is a new one from Brother Diego E. Berman, PhD. This chap is really on the ball here. Thank you, Diego. When solar winds meet Capricorn, a cosmic reset for Christmas week. Dear friends, as the new week unfolds, a complex double region coronal solar hole turns its gaze towards Earth. Stephen Burns, of course, has been talking about this very thing. Releasing fast streams of solar wind, just as the sun settles into Capricorn, following the solstice. The timing is potent. The solstice has already pivoted the light, anchoring a new solar year, and now these solar currents arrive like a cosmic wind, clearing the atmosphere. There is a sense of movement after stillness, an invisible push encouraging recalibration, truth, and forward momentum as the calendar quietly approaches Christmas. Quietly approaches Christmas. For energy sensitives, these solar winds can feel like an eternal weather system shifting. Physically, you may notice waves of fatigue followed by sudden clarity, pressure in the head or temples, ringing in the ears, a need for more sleep than usual. The nervous system, may feel heightened, as if the body is tuning itself into a new frequency, which is, of course, exactly what it is doing. Hydration, grounding foods, and moments of stillness become essential, not as remedies, but as acts of cooperation with a body that is integrating higher levels of information. Emotionally, this week may stir unexpected introspection. Old responsibilities, patterns of self-judgment, or unfinished inner contracts can surface, not to overwhelm, but to be seen clearly. Capricorn energy acts like a wise architect, illuminating where structures are strong and where they are outdated. Mood fluctuations, brief melancholy, or a sense of seriousness may arise, yet beneath it runs a quiet determination, a knowing that something important is being reset at a deep level. As Christmas week begins, the contrast between outer celebration and inner processing becomes more noticeable. You may feel called to simplify, to step back from excess noise, or to observe rather than participate fully in the rush. This is not withdrawal, it is discernment. The solar whole energies function like a cosmic audit, clearing mental clutter and emotional residue so that what remains is essential, aligned, and sustainable for the path ahead. Under Capricorn's influence, this period is especially significant for timeline work. Capricorn governs time, mastery, and long-term manifestation. The solar winds arriving now help loosen attachment to lower trajectories built on obligation or fear, making space for higher timelines rooted in integrity, purpose, and self-authority. Intentions set during this week carry unusual weight, not because they are forced, but because they are grounded. What you choose now is not just what you desire, but what you are willing to build. This is why this energetic window toward the end of the year is especially supportive for cellular and multidimensional work. As old programs complete their cycle, the body becomes more receptive to new informational streams. During times like this, DNA, both biological and multidimensional, responds more easily to coherent signals. The system is naturally resetting and gentle. Intentional activations can integrate with less resistance. In resonance with this threshold, I have created little commercial there, thank you. Read that on my page. By the end of the week, many will sense a subtle but steady internal shift, like standing on firmer ground after a long crossing. The energies are not dramatic for drama's sake. They are quietly decisive. This is a threshold moment where light returns, structures realign, and higher timelines begin to feel less like visions and more like lived possibilities. Capricorn reminds us that true ascension is not an escape upward, but a rooting into a higher way of being, here, now, and with intention. Have a great week. Much love. Diego E. Berman. Thank you, brother. All right, my friends. Yes, we are doing it. It is happening. The times they are changing. Ali Ray says, teach your children the songs of the earth, so they may sing them forever. I so love you, Ali Ray. Love is, love is, love is. God is, God is, God is. Take a deep breath. Mercy. Here's the course for this morning. I will step back and let him lead the way. Lesson 155. There is a way of living in the world that is not here, although it seems to be. You do not change appearance, though you smile more frequently. Your forehead is serene, your eyes are quiet, and the ones who walk the world as you do recognize their own. Yet those who have not yet perceived the way will recognize you also, and believe that you are like them, as you were before. Okay, the link there for the rest of that is right there. Beautiful. Eileen Caddy. Guidance for the 23rd of December. Give me the opportunity to work in and through you to bring about my wonders and glories. Hold the vision of my limitless love ever before you, of my limitless abundance, and of my wonders and glories coming about. Hold the vision of the new heaven and new earth, of my will being done, and of peace and harmony on earth and goodwill towards all. Hold the vision of vast cities of light springing up all over the world, where peace and love reign supreme. Never at any time lose the vision, for it is by holding the vision firmly and clearly ever before you that you help to bring it down from the etheric and see those wonders manifest on the earth plane for all to behold. The clearer the vision, the quicker will it be manifested. Give constant thanks that your eyes have been opened and that you know what to do. Now go ahead and do it and stop thinking about it. Take a deep breath. She's the business, my friends, Eileen Caddy. And here is Abraham. We're asking you to trust in the well-being. In optimism, there is magic. In pessimism, there is nothing. In positive expectation, there is thrill and success. In pessimism or awareness of what is not wanted, there is nothing. What you're wanting to do is redefine your relationship with the stream. We do not ask you to look at something that is black and call it white. We do not ask you to see something that is not as you want it to be and pretend that it is. What we ask you to do is practice moving your gaze. Practice changing your perspective. Practice talking to different people. Practice going to new places. Practice shifting through the data for the things that feel like you want to feel, and using those things to cause you to feel a familiar place. In other words, we want you to feel familiar in your joy, familiar in your positive expectation, familiar in your knowing that all is well, because this universe will knock itself out, giving you evidence of that well-being. Once you find that place, we have enjoyed this interaction immensely. There is great love here for you. We are complete. Take a deep breath. Yes, yes, yes. So yesterday I was on with The Artist's Way. Here's my book. Yeah, lovely. And great group. This is Speakeasy. I was gifted this class, 12 weeks. I've done The Artist's Way many times. I've barely read a word here, but the group has been brilliant. And of course I do morning pages every day of my life, and it's great to reconnect with The Artist's Way and be with people that are focused on their unblocking their creative blocks and supporting each other to help to do that. My artist date for last night was listening to about a 40-minute interview with a chap named Sean Ono Lennon. And it's really worth your time if you're a fan of the Beatles or music in general. Sean did a film. Of course, he's the son of John and Yoko. Sean did a film of War Is Over, the song the two of them wrote together, which is played every Christmas in the hipper parts of the world, and has been for 60 years or whatever it's been. Yeah, something like that, 50 years. And he won an Oscar for the film, and the chap really knows his stuff. It's the longest I've ever sat in his presence, and it's the deepest conversation I've heard about his life and his work as an artist in his own right entirely. And he's fascinating. What a beautiful soul, and really an inspiration. So check out Sean. Otherworld Earth. Here's a beautiful photograph of the aurora borealis in the shape of an angel. And this is from a site called Otherworld Earth. Last night, the sky decided to put on a performance of a lifetime over Alaska. I've seen countless photos of the aurora, but nothing like this. The emerald greens melt into violets and flashes of gold, forming a shape so striking it feels alive, like a celestial guardian rising above the frozen valley. In the quiet of the snow, when the world holds its breath, the aurora speaks in light instead of sound. That's beautiful. And moments like this make every shiver, every icy breath, and every hour spent under the winter sky absolutely worth it. Yeah. Speaking of all that, we love Annie, Sarah, and I are all fans of Yona Yinton, and she had a new video about her life in Sweden, in snowy, cold Sweden. And then here's another one, a photograph of a cloud in the shape of a dove over Mount Fuji. December 21st. Over Mount Fuji last night, nature shaped the sky into something out of pure mythology. A rare lenticular, L-E-N-T-I-C-U-L-A-R, lenticular hanging cloud formed at just the right moment, spreading its wings like a giant celestial phoenix, taking flight above Japan's most sacred mountain, with Fuji glowing softly beneath the night sky and a carpet of spring flowers in the foreground. The whole scene feels like it was lifted straight from a fantasy film. Moments like this remind us that the sky is always painting, sometimes quietly and sometimes with breathtaking drama. Legend says witnessing a phoenix-shaped cloud brings good fortune. If that's true, whoever captured this moment was blessed indeed. Take a breath into that. And so this continues to be, I'm so grateful for these photos, of course, and being able to see something so breathtaking and beautiful. This continues to be a theme, that the sky is just whirling and twirling and doing all sorts of amazing magic, showing us that the times are indeed changing. I have a video here of the aurora dancing in green. Beautiful. And a shout out to Alexandra Wenman, who keeps popping up here. She's having the time of her life in a little place called Paris, France. And God bless you, my friend. Yeah, wonderful. So there is a peace march that is happening, the Walk for Peace. I mentioned this yesterday. And a group of 20, 40 Buddhist monks and supporters. Today, the Walk for Peace Sangha crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge, which, if you know your civil rights history, that was a big deal. Martin Luther King, I think, got arrested crossing that bridge. Offering chants and prayers in remembrance of those who lost their lives there. Right, there was a big riot on the bridge when the peace marchers crossed from one state into another. I think it was into Mississippi. With mindful steps, loving kindness, and quiet reverence, the Sangha honored history, healed through compassion, and dedicated merit for peace and the well-being of all beings. That bridge, Edmund Pettus, stands as a witness beyond words, where joy was once purchased with blood and tears, so that peace might arise amid profound suffering. On a winter afternoon sharp with cold, the bridge grew tender beneath falling petals, carried by the river toward stillness, an offering of remembrance for those who laid down their lives. Chants and prayers rose, full and sincere, blending with the wind, entering the boundless Dhamma, D-H-A-M-M-A. The wind itself intoned a silent verse. May all beings be free from sorrow and distress. The bridge remains a quiet bond, patient through the turning of years and worlds, Within its silence, smiles appeared through tears as wholesome hearts stirred and resonated together. Hey there. With deep gratitude for noble vows, for loving kindness carried in the footsteps of practitioners, healing unseen fractures of the heart, in a long night of samsara's impermanence. Peace begins in what is small and near, when the heart ceases its distant searching. Gratitude to Alabama, land warmed by human kindness, where rare and wholesome conditions gently converge. Lay devotee Tai Lam, December 19th, 2025. Take a deep breath. The line from the Course in Miracles is, "There is nowhere more sacred than where an ancient hatred has turned into a present peace." David Alexander Lightfoot. We are in the midst now of a superquantum evolutionary leap, which is inherently changing all life and all forms. As the new Earth has now fully merged with the old, this means a totally new cellular, atomic, subatomic change on all levels, as Christ consciousness is embodying, for want of a better word to describe this. Yeah, that'll work. Source infused in the highest degrees, thus new creation on all levels of existence. The core Earth fused with core of solar galactic universal and omniversal cores, suns beyond suns, as the seventh central sun of illumination, has fully merged now with our new sun. Drunvlos talked about this. Oh, this is Judith Kusel. We are indeed now in a totally new existence, and will feel this intensely on all levels now. And this is just the beginning. Amen, amen, amen. Let's give you a little Chief Phil Lane. This is a brilliant man and a beautiful soul who I have had the pleasure of meeting and interviewing, and being a part of the World Peace Gathering and the lighting of the 8th fire. He says, this is Article 3 of the Binding Planetary Peace Treaty to End War, Protection of Human Rights and Dignity. Peace is affirmed as a fundamental human right. All people are entitled to live free from violence, fear, persecution, and discrimination. Special protection is guaranteed for children, women, refugees, indigenous peoples, and all vulnerable communities whose safety and dignity are essential to a just and peaceful world. Where harm has occurred, truth, accountability, reconciliation, and restorative justice guide healing so unity may be restored and peace made. Take a deep breath. Phil Lane Jr., my friends, yeah? Beautiful. Will I give you Margot Bobrowicz? She says, I've never been attracted to masculine men. I've always been drawn to beauty. Despite the despair, sometimes bordering on disgust, of most of my Eastern European friends, and their countless attempts to convince me to surrender to masculine leadership, I've never been able to do so. As my taste was tolerated rather than accepted by the closest circle, for years I kept ruminating on whether this was resistance, as they would suggest. After decades, I come to a conclusion that preference is a preference, an intimate, profound desire I've tried to suppress for most of my life. When I sit across a traditionally masculine man, big arms, muscles, beard, tattoos, swagger, I feel nothing. It's that last word that gets me. No pull, no spark. It's like having coffee with a buddy. For years, people tried to teach me otherwise. They said I must learn to receive, to surrender, to soften under masculine leadership. They offered methods, prayers, and systems of energy. They called it healing. But I felt none of it. No peace, no revelation. Only a quiet, persistent knowing that this isn't my design. When I see beauty, the kind of male beauty that carries gentle softness, loyalty, and devotion, that's my gravity. And I'm tired as hell, orbiting someone else's idea of love. I don't want my man to lead. Leadership is mine. I listen inward, I decide. I have no anger toward what others love, just a preference that feels as innate as breathing, and a long history of trying to silence it. I don't want to be led. I want to walk beside and lead, and I'm exhausted performing in a polarity dimension. This is for anyone who's ever tried to fix themselves into someone else's idea of attraction. You're allowed to want what you want. You're allowed to exist as you are. Margot, take a deep breath. That's powerful medicine, my friends. Thank you, Margot. I've chatted with Margot briefly. She's an amazing artist, and she's clearly someone who knows her own mind and has learned to follow it, follow her heart. Nothing but respect, my friend. Bless you. Thank you for sharing. That's extremely deep. A spectacular full moon and a brilliant, colorful lunar halo. Signs everywhere you look, my friends. A 22-degree halo with parhelia and a perihelic circle illuminate the ancient stones of Stonehenge under a star-filled night sky. This was another spectacular picture on my page if you scroll down. This was the night of the solstice. It's almost like there's a higher power at work, yes? Very good, very good. There's Sister Mia, bless you, sweetheart. Yeah, let's give you some Mia. This is my lovely teacher of the course.
The fog. Hey, I just pulled in to take a break from driving in the fog. It's really, really foggy outside. And I love doing videos in my car. I don't know about you, but I love my car. I always feel like it's this sort of cozy room space that I get to hang out in. Anyway, that's not what I came on to say. Our Course in Miracles lesson this morning, I think it's lesson 154, is I am among God's ministers, or I am among the ministers for God. And when you read that first, you might think, oh my gosh, am I, an evangelist, and should I be knocking door to door with Course in Miracles under my arm, saying, you gotta read this book or buy this book, which is not a bad idea, but that's not what I'm here to say either. But when you read and you lean into the text or into the lesson, what you realize is that it's an invitation to show up as your true self, as your true nature, which is love. So I am a minister of love. And that means that you go about your day in your ministry as pure love. So whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, whoever you meet, you show up as love, as light, as best you can. And, there's nothing wishy-washy about that. And yes, sometimes love is very soft and very gentle, and as we know, patient and kind. But, other times it requires a firmness and a willingness to speak your truth and to be honest and straightforward and all of that. But it's always a beautiful thing. You can't go wrong with love. So I invite you today to recognize that you too are a minister of love, and to go move through the world as that.
Thank you, sweetheart. Beautiful, beautiful soul, a dear friend, and wonderful teacher. She's made, she's given me a fighting chance to get there. 6:30 has come awfully early for me the last few weeks, really the last few months, and isn't it? And so everything is 7:45 starting tomorrow for the next week, which is a great gift. I'm just reading a post here from Liza Minnelli, who's talking about addiction and all these heavy subjects. Let me just throw a little of this into the mix in the holiday spirit. She says, "Hey kids," Liza Minnelli. "On Friday, I shared a message with you from my heart about the crisis of SUD, which is substance something, etc. It's addiction, drugs, booze, pills, pot, whatever, which is clearly involved in the tragic deaths of Rob and Michelle Reiner. I didn't clearly address the correlation between mental health and SUD because, to me, it is obvious. The disease has impacted our family since before I was born, and it never goes away. I'm grateful to each of you who heard me and reached out. I'm also grateful to my friend Oprah Winfrey for naming Kids, Wait Till You Hear This, as one of the most anticipated books of 2026. To those who felt the timing was off or the message tone deaf, I disagree. I've never been exploitative of any situation or anyone. Not my style. What is my style? Telling the truth, even when it makes people uncomfortable. Because here it is. Drug addiction, mental health, and trauma on every scale are usually interwoven. That's not drama, that's not clickbait. Here are the facts. According to the NAC ADD, nearly 3 million violent crimes each year involve offenders perceived to be drinking. About half of all homicides and assaults involve alcohol. Nearly 80% of offenses leading to incarceration involve alcohol or drugs. Alcohol plays a role in about 40% of violent crimes. And among victims of domestic violence, alcohol is involved in 55% of cases. Globally, over 1 billion people are impacted by substance use disorder. There you go. People are dying every day. Too few of us are speaking out. I cannot and I will not sit in shame and silence. Our beloved mother died far too early. Mama was amazing, brilliant, funny, and talented to the level of genius. However, Mama didn't get to grow old and kiss her grandkids. Last week, I was with my sister, Lorna Luft, and her daughter, Vanessa, one of Mama's beautiful grandchildren. As Vanessa now picks up the torch for our family, she brings Mama's light to you, and I, after almost 80 years, am opening my heart to share how our family and you can battle this disease and live in recovery. I love you. Liza Minnelli. God bless you, sweetheart. That is some real, raw, beautiful courage, Liza. Thank you for all that. It's called Getting Real. Maureen Muldoon, my friend from Speakeasy. 2 good things arrived on the island today. I must have made the good list. She's received a new upright piano and a book from Mancon McGann, Women's Words. Well, there's one I've not seen yet. That's great. That's brilliant. That's lovely. All right, my friends, let's do Elizabeth. Let's do Ann Tucker. Ann Tucker and her 40 days. This is creating a blanket of self-love, and she dropped this 6 hours ago. Yoko Ono, by the way, is 92 years of age, and the interviewer did a great job in this interview with Sean Ono Lennon, and he really knew his stuff and was a big fan, and he'd listened to and seen and read everything that they were talking about. But Sean mentioned there at the end when the guy says, "Hey, how's your mother?" And he says, "Well, she's 92, and she's retired." But they had a very sweet moment I have to share here with you before I forget it. He says, John asked Yoko to be his, to write songs with him, and she didn't want to do it. She wanted to do her own thing, and Sean thought, the interviewer said, well, that must have really earned John's respect. And Sean said, exactly. He was so used to people wanting things from him that when someone didn't want anything, that was extremely inspiring, freeing, I would say. And they did their album together, Double Fantasy, which came out after... No, that was their last album, yes. Then they released more of John's stuff and her stuff afterwards. Walking on Thin Ice and things like this. Was it Walking on Broken Glass? I think so. No, Thin Ice. Anyway, it was just an amazing moment to see a little insight into John and Yoko's relationship. And, so the interviewer was asking Sean, does he and Yoko would they work on things together? And Sean was saying, no, basically she would do her own thing, or she would give it to him to do. She wasn't big on collaboration. She was happy to do her own thing. Yoko took a lot of grief from the world for a long time. Can you imagine? And she navigated it somehow and earned a lot of people's respect, including mine. Sean's a beautiful soul. So here is Sean and Yoko and John, of course. God bless them. A lot of John Lennon stuff this year on the anniversary of his death, and rightly so. We need some John Lennon. Today is day 35. I'm talking about Ann Tucker now. Creating a blanket of self-love. This is a 10-minute meditation, and here we go.
And get comfy and drop down from your tailbone a nice thick root that goes down through the floor and down into the ground. And follow it down with your mind as it grows and extends. Going deeper and deeper into the earth. And following it down where it's dark and cool. Going deeper and deeper, all the way down to the very, very center of the earth. And when it reaches that center point, feel the root sprout and anchor itself in. As it does, notice that the root is pulling gently, becoming taut. And feel as that tautness moves all the way up the root. And then all the way up your spine, anchoring you securely to the earth. If I and the angels have your permission to see and work with your energy today, please give us your verbal assent. Yes, it's okay if I don't hear you.
Yes.
I'd like to ask the angels to please help me to be a clear channel of healing and information for our group gathered here today and for all those listening on the recording for our highest and best good. And please help us to receive this healing and information. Thank you. I'm connecting now with the Mother of Creation. She'll set sacred space as I'm staying my body for this part. And she's moving in. There's something happening with our ears. She's using this, connecting somehow. I'm feeling it in my ears. It's moving out around all of us. Into this space, I'd like to invite in our 3 archangels and ask you to please clear each and every one of us of any energies not in our highest and best good, any energies that are not our own or that are not in the light. Please clear us, our field, our possessions, the space that we are in, as well as our technology. Thank you. And just take a breath as they do their work. And connecting deeper now and bringing in I Love, Mother of Creation. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, we are here again. We are together once more. We are together now and forever, for always, for I do love you each. And we are spending this blessed time where we are separated and yet united together in our assumptions about how the earth is evolving. We are gathering to ourselves what we would draw in. We are collecting amongst ourselves the love that we share, that we prepare, that we build, that we grow, that we draw into an earth that is receptive. We are doing so much work that we allow to flow through us, that we allow, like the passage of time that flows through so effortlessly, a new beginning that grows from inside us in the ease of something that we expand out from within us. I would like to offer you each now a new kind of blessing, a new way of building up your fortitude for the times ahead, giving you strength when you might need it, giving you a reservoir of energy that you can call upon when you might feel empty, when you might feel alone or scared or in want of a close friend, when you might need extra sauce for your Sunday. Shall we? Let's begin. Take a breath, and move deeply into the context of loving yourselves. Move into the space of I am all that I need, and accept this as your mantra as we work on this progress together. Hold yourself now, arms wrapped gently around your body, as if you are endowing yourself with your full presence. Give yourself loving appreciation and thank yourself audibly for the good things that you have done and that you have shared today and in the past few days. How may you respect yourself in this moment now? What have you done that you are grateful that you've accomplished? Was it a way of being or not being? What have you done, including your presence here? Thank yourself out loud. Give yourself the peace of that appreciation as you wrap your arms around yourselves, embracing yourselves, and say aloud, thank you, self. Thank you, me.
Thank you, me.
For what you have done. And say aloud what it is, and speak this in a voice that all layers of the soul and the self can hear you. Speak to your mind for your beautiful thoughts and ideas. Thank your mind. Thank your heart for how it loves and how it shares. Thank your body for how it rises up in the morning and carries you forward.
Thank you, body.
For how it serves you in your daily needs. And thank your heart and your soul and the depth of you most of all.
Thank you, heart and soul.
For the soul that stirs inside you. Breathe your thanks to your soul. And hold yourself with the gentleness of a treasured object. And let the layers of the body accept your own appreciation, moving deeply into connection with that gratitude of self letting all parts of you harmonize to your gratefulness, to your self-appreciation. And as you do, an energy builds in the core of you. And I place myself within it. I hold myself like an opportunity not yet known in the center of your core as you hold yourself in gratitude for what and who you are. And I stand in the middle and I feel the light of your love that surrounds you, moving, moving, always moving, for energy never sits still, always moving, changing, evolving. As you love yourself, you evolve, you change. You give yourself acceptance, you evolve, you change. All parts of you become closer and closer to what you are acknowledging within you. What you love expands. Energy always moving, always moving. Continue to feel what you love about yourself. When have you surprised yourself with your own depth, with what you can give and what you can share, what you can know, what you can feel? What was hard for you and you did it anyways? When you were courageous and strong because you were scared, but you tried anyways. When have you failed and not held yourself apart from trying again? When have you accepted yourself with all of your inconsistencies and the ways you feel different? What have you allowed yourself, your greatest gift? What has it given yourself? And I'm here in the center with you, appreciating all these things lovingly. Speak aloud to yourself again. Thank yourself.
Thank you.
You may say your name.
Thank you, Lewis.
You may say your name with pride, with appreciation, with love. Speak your name and thank yourself for these parts in your heart, in your body, in the stream of light that flows through you. Speak to your truth. Name your heart. Appreciation, loving yourself out loud.
I appreciate and love myself.
And the energy in the body swirls and swirls and moves, creating more light, concentrating here in the core where I am. And I assemble this light and I stitch it together like a blanket I am knitting. And I bring together all the energies which you are creating. Loving, loving, loving yourself. Continue, don't stop, continue. As your arms meet your body, holding you so gently. And feel into your heart's greatest longing and how you have lived with needs unmet. And love yourself for your bravery, for what is absent in your life, for what you wish had been different. And love yourself for the sweetness of you, coming and trying and living even when it's hard. Love yourself for the great distances you've come, how far you've come. And feel in the body the weariness, and love your body for what it served, for how it has suffered with you. And see how you rise when you are challenged. You try, and love yourself. See yourself. Say it out loud. Yes, it is powerful when it is spoken. And the energy swirls and swirls, and I am knitting faster and faster, creating with you. Continue. Send me your love of yourself. Speak it to me. Tell me what is most beautiful in you.
My creativity, my vision.
What is your greatest alignment to your truth? When do you feel most alive in your world?
My devotion, my joy, my
And how does it reflect your spirit?
Peace, peace, peace.
And tell me how you love yourself for having that part of you. Appreciating now more deeply, yes, more deeply, rhythms of light I see streaming from you, intoxicating. And I weave those through with silver thread, and I make within you a great and all-encompassing blanket of light, woven from the threads of your unconsciousness, suspended in a field of self-love and appreciation. It is enormous and made in the light of my own divinity, which you also share. And here I have one, completed. And it stays within you in a tiny pocket, which I'm creating, in which I will keep this special tool. And it is made just for you, made of the light inside you. And what do you need to do to unlock it? How may you find it once again when you need it? In the same way it was created. You need only stand still for a moment, or sit as you are, and place your hands around yourself and acknowledge your own light out loud with a simple thank you.
Thank you.
Say your name,
Louis.
and thank yourself.
Thank you.
And in that moment, the tiny pocket expands to reveal the very, very, very large blanket of love, self-generated, and it unfolds and wraps itself around you, a loving embrace to strengthen and fortify you when things might feel dire or lonely, when you need the strength of your own soul to support you. It is a gift given from within, and I am merely guiding you in its making. And I bless you each now with the potency of your own vibration. A blessing given is a blessing received to the self. And you are this powerful, and you are this worthy, and you are this beautiful. You may relax now and know that you have created something of infinite value and infinite potential. I say thank you, and I will look forward to our conversation tomorrow. Goodbye.
Take a deep breath. Oh my God. Oh my goddess. Yes, please. Oh man, thank you, thank you. Amazing. That is the Mother of Creation, Isla, channeled by Ann Tucker. Day 35 of 40 days in a row. Very powerful, my friends. A beautiful blessing. Well, that will do it for this morning, I think. Thanks for being here. Please share the video with anyone you think would be interested in this material. And I say one more time, God knows I say it every day. I had 240 people on yesterday. There is a PayPal link. I do appreciate any and every donation made to support Morning Poems and Prayers. This is Christmas week, of course, and I'm so grateful for this year and all the challenges and all the opportunities that have presented themselves. You've heard here again, there's a challenge that we're all going to face at some point in life, collectively and individually, and we're preparing for that. So I'm grateful if I get to be any part of helping you to feel and know that you and I are safe, loved, and supported, that all is truly well, and that Father, Mother, God are in us, with us, and for us at all times. Thank you, Zahara. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Peace and blessings. Namaste. Peace.